This was a tribute after Prince's death in 2016. So what better way to pay tribute than getting, I guess, one of his heroes.
Yeah.
And one of his contemporaries.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
One of his serious contemporaries in the world of pop.
Oh, yeah.
There was the Queen of Pop, Madonna, the King of Pop, Michael Jackson, and Prince.
Yeah.
The Prince of
I mean,
Pop?
he's already Prince. He doesn't need, he doesn't get called Prince of Pop, does he?
No.
He doesn't need it.
Does he
Just Prince.
Does he ever have other names?
Yeah, he has the purple one.
But he's already named it himself. He's Prince.
Well,
like
he didn't name himself. He was named Prince.
True.
That's his birth name.
Yeah. He chose that as his stage name.
Why not?
Yeah. You may as well.
Yeah. Oh, his Royal Badness was an actual nickname.
Was it?
Yeah. Madonna, I mean, nickname?
Queen of Pop.
Yeah, Queen of Pop, but Madonna, was she...
So that was her name too?
That was her name?
Yeah.
Oh, she was actually...
That's her Christian name.
No.
Yeah, Madonna, yeah.
Really?
Yeah. She was known as Little Nonnie by her family, because she was one of, like, a lot,
yeah.
Because her mum was called Madonna as well.
Right.
Yeah.
So, yeah, tribute, and we are at the Billboard Awards 2016, and this was only a month after his death. So
Really?
it's in like a difficult area of what to do.
Yeah.
Because it's close, you don't want to go too big and like exciting, like a kind of more, I don't know. Because later on, the Grammys, like a year later, they went for Let's Go Crazy. Could you go for Let's Go Crazy 1 month after? No.
Which month was it?
This was in May and he died in April.
And maybe still sort of unsure about the circumstances, or?
Oh yeah, because it was in the air for a while, wasn't it?
It was.
So he was found
He was
dead.
in the air. He was in a helicopter, wasn't he?
No. He was kind of in the air. He was in an elevator.
Yeah.
He was found dead in his elevator in Paisley Park.
Yeah.
And
I think he'd been sick.
He had
in
6
a
days before. 6 days before
and
he
had to land somewhere. Yeah.
I got plane. You got helicopter, but he was definitely air sick. Yeah, to make an emergency stop, and he was revived with 2 doses of a drug that reverses the effects of an opioid overdose.
Okay.
Apparently. So, 6 days later, he has an opioid overdose.
Yeah.
So he's
on the
boshing
opioids. Yeah. And it wasn't the same doctor that was involved in Michael Jackson's opioids. Like,
I don't know.
it might be. I don't know.
He was prescribed oxycodone.
Oxycontin.
Oxycodone, which
Right.
is in oxycodone.
Right.
Maybe that's the trade name for it, oxycodone.
Right. Yeah.
Which is a semi-synthetic opioid. But he was found dead with a lethal dose of fentanyl, which is another synthetic opioid.
What, Jackson or
No,
Prince?
Prince.
Yeah.
And his doctor, I'm not sure if it's Prince's doctor or it's his bodyguard's doctor, but his bodyguard was prescribed this oxycodone, but the doctor understood because he had to tell this to the post-death investigators.
Yeah.
That,
it was just for the bodyguard. Or?
No, he admitted that he knew it was for Prince.
Yeah.
But Prince had requested that he wasn't on the prescription because these things can get out, I suppose. So he was trying to hide it.
Yeah. And he'd already had a overdose of it 6 days before, or was that also?
Yeah, but I don't think that was common knowledge. But also, people at Paisley Park had contacted an addiction specialist in California called Dr. Howard Cornfield just a day before his death. So this was getting to a point of like intervention.
Yeah.
But he's always had pain in his hips. He used to have a cane.
Yeah. He did a lot of hip wiggling in his time. And
We did the splits constantly,
splits all the
and
time.
he was basically just jumping on stage for, 20, 30 years.
Yeah.
So you're going to get fucked up. You ask any ballet dancer or anything like that, their bodies are wrecks, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely. Madonna was trained as a ballet dancer early on, and had this trainer who was a bit of a sadist, perhaps, but just kind of like most ballet teachers. just hold sharpened pencil right there. And
Under the chin.
Under the chin kind of thing. And it would spike you if you didn't.
So if you went flat-footed, you'd get jabbed.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
And like a cane with the straight leg, or even something sharper than a cane, like just
something
jab
sharper.
you. Yeah, sharper than a cane.
A nail.
A nail, rusty nail. But this guy was a mentor to Madonna as well, and brought her into the whole art scene and the discipline of performance, essentially. Yeah.
I've not heard about her being into the painkillers.
No.
You don't really hear much about Madonna and drugs, do you?
Not really.
Maybe she's just doesn't need it, doesn't like it, doesn't do it.
Yeah. Although Andrew Morton likes to suggest that she's on loads of coke the whole time.
Oh, really?
But doesn't say it.
Is that from an authorised biography?
No, unauthorised. It's the most shocking unauthorised biography ever, according to OK Magazine. So I naturally reached for it in the library the other day.
It called out to you.
Yeah. Author of worldwide bestsellers about Diana, Monica Lewinsky, David and Victoria Beckham.
Is he an ex-tabloid?
He's a total
journalist?
tabloid fucker.
Yeah.
Everything he says is insinuation.
Which makes it a thoroughly good read.
Exactly, yeah. He hardly talks about the music at all. He doesn't know anything about music.
He's not interested.
He's not interested in music at all.
No.
A look through her file shows clearly that since childhood, Madonna dreamed single-mindedly of becoming a celebrity. I've been provoking... Cut! I've been provoking people since I was a little girl. I'm very interested in being alluring, she confessed. As with so many showbiz divas, it started with the small stuff. A show of exhibitionism at family gatherings, hogging the spotlight at school concerts, always being the centre of attention at college dance performances. By the time she moved to New York, she was on the slippery slope, rapidly moving from recreational self-absorption to flirting with the hard stuff, avidly sniffing success. Pretty soon she had pawned her dance career for a hit of fame. Never really coming down from the high of seeing her first single go to #1 in the charts. From then on, she was hooked, utterly addicted to fame, mainlining on mass adulation.
Fame is the drug rather than...
Of course, to me, it's suggesting that she's fucking doing coke.
No, I don't think so. I think it's just suggesting that fame is the drug. Drugs are easy to understand in pop literature. It's like they're all hooked on something, and she's hooked on fame.
I don't know, I just thought it was backhanded. Because they've got nothing on Madonna, drug-wise. No one's got anything on Madonna that she doesn't want people to have.
Most of her career was put through the tabloid mincer, basically, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, as we remember Prince being and Michael Jackson, those three, us growing up in that time period, they were the big three of like, look at these crazy Americans.
Yeah. With these kind of tabloid people, there's an underpinning jealousy, I think. What makes you so great anyway?
Yeah.
Eh? They have this weird mix of uber Christian judgment and total depraved fascination.
Yeah.
That's what makes up the media of the sort of 80s, you know. This is people that Madonna and Jackson and Prince have to play up to.
React to. I mean, Madonna and Jackson are constantly reacting to the press.
Yeah.
Prince, not so much.
No.
In pettiness stakes, he would probably react to his record company rather than... I don't think he cares about what people say about him.
Give a shit, exactly. He really doesn't give a shit. And also, he's like beyond them having a grasp of him at all as a normal human being, because he's just this...
Because he doesn't open himself up to... He doesn't hardly do interviews.
Yeah, he lives in Paisley Park.
But Jackson didn't. But then he still got the fucking...
He got upset about it, yeah. Jackson's a much more vulnerable character than Prince. Like, for whatever reason. Prince... only vulnerable to his own demons, really. He doesn't give a fuck about anything else.
And his path through this life to get to the next world, basically. That's what it's all about.
That's what it's all about. And every time there's, like, red and a blue sky, he thinks of purple and the purple rain was going to come down.
The Judgment Day.
Judgment Day,
Yeah.
apocalyptic thought, and he needs someone to just hold his hand through the fucking Judgment Day.
Oh, does he? Because let's get into lyrics of the song. It's been dissected as the first verse is about his family, the second verse is about his lover, and the third verse is about his band, because obviously this is all set in the framework of the Purple Rain film, and it's like a central piece of the film.
Yeah.
He does say in the third verse, you say you want a leader, but you can't seem to make up your mind. I think you better close it and let me guide you to the Purple Rain. So he's taking on the role of Jesus.
Yeah, it definitely has Jesus vibes, this whole song, yeah.
Yeah.
Into the Purple Rain, which is the apocalyptic...
It'll just the Judgment Day.
Judgment Day,
To see who will go up and who will go down.
Obviously like a cult leader who gets everyone to die. But,
Well, a band is a little mini cult. Isn't
yeah, that was the third verse.
That was the third verse.
And that's it, is it? Just three?
Yeah, and then goes into the huge coda of the chorus, on, the guitar solo.
Yeah.
He talks to the audience, if you know what I'm singing about up here, come on, raise your hands. And that's what they kind of grab hold on to in this duet version, is the convivial, let's all go together
Yeah.
and meet our Judgment Day.
Yeah.
And then maybe we'll see Prince again. Because Stevie's going to be into this, isn't he? Because Stevie's like-minded.
Yeah. And Madonna is kind of...
Yeah.
is a Catholic as well.
She said her three big interests were sex, death, and religion.
And God, yeah. And she's like, God's the only person you can trust. You have to put your faith in God and nobody else, basically. Men, definitely not. Although God is a man.
Is he?
In the Catholic faith, who knows?
Is he referred to as he?
In the Catholics, it
Probably is.
Probably, yeah.
So yeah, we don't get to the third verse in this version.
No.
This is a 2-minute section of the song.
Yeah.
And it's the first verse.
Never meant to cause you any trouble, any pain. Only ever wanted to
Only
see
wanted
you
one time to see you laughing.
dancing in the purple rain.
Yeah, they do say dancing. Bathing is one of them, and smiling is another one. Smiling and dancing were never in the actual Prince's version of Purple Rain.
Right.
They've added that.
Really?
So they've added that to be, I guess, about
Everyone.
Prince, maybe? Or
Oh, yeah. It's about Prince, this now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's actually like sort of turned around.
turned around on its creator.
Yeah. That's what we feel about you. You were kind of talking about us, and then now we're talking about you.
Because you've gone before us.
Yeah. Which wasn't the plan. Not at all.
Should have got that opioid addiction into...
I should have got everyone else into the opioids instead. And
Yeah. Well, who else died this year from the Prince alumni?
don't know.
Vanity died this year as well.
Right.
Yeah. 2 months before Prince, of kidney failure.
Oh shit.
But Prince was the filling in this pop death sandwich of 2016.
Yeah. Was Bowie?
Bowie was early.
January.
He was January. And then George Michael in December.
Shit. Yeah. Christmas Day. This is the death year.
This is the
Fuck.
death year. Yeah. I did read something in... there's a BBC article. They said that they used double the amount of prepared obituaries
Right.
compared to the years previous.
Yeah.
But I suppose...
Who else?
As pop culture goes on,
Yeah.
there will be more and more stars. So the
Yeah.
likelihood of them dying, I don't know. I mean, pop stars, what's their general life expectancy?
Well, 27 is
That's the classic kind of rock star death, isn't it?
yeah, that's the rock star death. There's
Yeah.
there's a lot of them. And then the ones that live, then they all died in 2016. Leonard Cohen,
Oh, right,
as
Cohen,
well. Glenn Frey.
yeah. No one cares about
Who's
Glenn
that?
Frey.
Vanity. Sharon Jones. Nope. Rick Parfitt.
No,
Yes.
he's not dead.
He's dead.
Is he?
He died then.
Rick?
Rick. Yeah.
God, I think I might go into the number one stage of grief, which is denial. Right
You're
now.
already there, man. Yeah.
Live. But
Yeah. No way! Parfitt's dead!
But these stages of grief, they give you a hint of how you can do a tribute. So these 5 stages of grief, so you've got denial, you've got anger, then bargaining, which I believe to be, you could have done something about this to prevent this, or maybe I could have done something to prevent it.
So self sort of flagellation or flagellation of the subject.
Maybe a bit of both.
Bit of both.
Then there's the depression, 4th stage, when you actually, well, the 5th stage is acceptance, but I'd say the depression, maybe you've accepted it already.
It's just like being whacked over the head with a massive mallet, isn't it?
And being unfunctional.
Can't function because you're just actually experiencing the shock of it.
Post-event shock.
Flatulent shock.
We've had a few people that have died in our duets so far.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to ask you what stage of grief you're in with some of these.
Yes, Thomas. I think I'm ready to...
Dig deep.
To accept this question.
So let me start with Michael Jackson. What stage of grief are you in? Denial, anger, bargaining, depression, or acceptance?
Acceptance.
Yeah. I think you'd probably say acceptance for all these.
Yeah, I don't know if there's another 6th one where I never cared, don't care. Assuming I've had grief about these things, which I don't think so. But
yeah, but people would assume when celebrities die, there's normally a massive outpouring of people saying, "Oh God, this person meant so much to me," and
yeah.
Has anyone ever tickled those kind of?
Yeah.
Yeah. A celebrity, like a musician. We're talking about musicians, so.
Yeah. When Michael Jackson died, it was sad. I don't think I had grief though. So maybe a nudge of grief because it was just like, what a fucked up crap life. I mean, great life, but terrible upbringing. I just was a bit angry.
Anger, the 2nd stage.
A little bit angry at his upbringing and the music industry.
And the tabloids.
Tabloids. So relating to me, at the time I was feeling sort of ill. Having done music to the point of being ill, but also being in the media. And that making me ill too.
You weren't written about in the tabloids.
No.
But you were just in the media.
I just worked for the media. I was working in this music college as well, so that was exploiting these kids and all this dream of rock and roll stardom and how sick it is.
Oh, like School of Rock kind of stuff.
Yeah, I hated it. The sort of marketing of pop music as a vocation.
Right.
The rock and roll star as something you get when you get your certificate.
Rather than being a player in a orchestra that's a bit part of something, it's more putting it towards you could be the focal point.
Yeah, and just really appealing to ego. Be the rock and roll star you've always wanted to be.
You've got inside you.
Yeah, just come to ICMP in Kilburn and we'll teach you how to do it. Ross will actually teach you because he's like a rock star. Aren't you, Ross? Aren't you? I did this and that. Not really. I didn't actually hate it. And
So you were in the anger stage of grief for Jackson.
But just anger at general child abuse and for these kind of purposes of rock and roll and then Kurt Cobain was 27 and I was just about to see him, so I was well into him when he died.
You're just about to meet him for a drink.
Just about to see him, and then he popped his fucking clogs.
Shit, so you had a ticket? So you
I had a ticket to Brixton Academy.
Have you still got that
Utero
ticket?
Tour. And then I was like, oh God, I could sell this for lots of money after I got through the grief stage. The
acceptance. You're into stage 5, acceptance.
Well, yeah, and then I was like...
Or bargaining. Actually, that would be... Bargaining. Could be bargaining.
Don't know. I think it happened quite quickly that I was up for selling it, actually.
Cold-hearted cunt.
Yeah. And my stepmum rang me up and told me about it. I didn't know about it, which was weird because my stepmum wasn't really...
But she likes to break bad news.
Yeah, she liked to break bad news. And it wasn't like I broke down crying or anything at all. I was just like, shit, England lost on penalties.
That kind of thing.
But it wasn't as bad as that.
I did want to actually. I was gonna come round to this, but I'll go straight there because I was gonna ask you how you felt about some of the other ones that have died. We've had George Michael die. We've had Lou Reed die, Tammy, Loretta, Conway, Dean Martin. But the other thing that can happen when someone dies,
yeah,
is as we've seen before, in our last episode, you can revive the dead.
Yes.
With Sinatra.
Yeah. Hijinks. Brian can do it. Yeah.
Brian has the ability to do that instantly these days.
To just reverse death. Reanimate.
Yeah, and so when is too early for a hologram? Because, like, it took 16 years for HoloPac to arrive. That's quite a big gap. Fine.
Yeah.
Everyone's totally cool about that and totally excited about that. Sinatra was 10 years.
Yeah.
Fine.
He's was already considered dead.
Jackson was only 5 years after he died that they did it's the Billboard Awards, I think. Did the Jackson reanimation. I mean, that's not long.
No.
But I don't know, there's something synthetic about Jackson already.
Yeah.
Because he's an alien, so a hologram makes complete sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
But Prince, I mean, are you going to do a Prince hologram?
Me. Funny you should say that. I've been working on one. Here's my balsa wood model. Like, he's just going to go like that. There's this mirror which isn't quite pointing in the right direction.
Pepper's ghost, yeah. But 2 years after Prince died, there was controversy because Justin Timberlake was doing the 2018 Super Bowl. We love to talk about the Super Bowl. Set in Minneapolis. So, what are you going to do? You're going to pay tribute to Prince.
Yeah.
And there was a big hoo-ha because some entertainment website, TMZ, or like a news agency, released reports that, Justin Timberlake is performing with a Prince hologram. And all the Prince fans went fucking crazy.
In a bad way.
Yeah, like, no way.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
Have you read his interview in Guitar World from 1998? And
why? What did that say?
Well, his interview in Guitar World. So, Guitar World say, with digital editing, it is now possible to create a situation where you could jam with any artist from the past. Would you ever consider doing something like that? Prince replies, certainly not. That is the most demonic thing imaginable. Everything is as it is, and as it should be. If I was meant to jam with Duke Ellington, we would have lived in the same age. That whole virtual reality thing, it really is demonic.
Yeah.
And I am not a demon.
Yeah.
Also, what they did with that Beatles song, Free as a Bird, because this is in 1998, so Free as a Bird was 1995 or something?
Yeah.
Manipulating John Lennon's voice to have him sing in from across the grave, that'll never happen to me. To prevent that kind of thing from happening is another reason why I want artistic control. So he's basically put it down as like, fuck you, no. I'm not coming back as a hologram.
Yeah.
Does he have much choice?
Interesting.
Because they actually didn't do a hologram, but what they did do was they projected footage and audio of Prince performing I Would Die For You, mixed with the live Justin Timberlake band and Justin Timberlake banging chords on a keyboard and harmonizing with Prince.
Right, yeah.
It's the same thing, right? There's no artistic control for Prince in this moment at all.
No.
His song is being augmented or added to with whatever Timberlake wants to do and his band want to do over the top of it. Isn't that the same as a hologram? I suppose it would feel different if it was Prince hologramming around on stage, like, resting his elbow on Timberlake's piano or something. But it's fucking, you put it down there saying, it's demonic. I don't want it.
Yeah.
And
Timberlake did it.
And
Prince had nothing written into his will or his death contract.
And also, he probably doesn't own the rights to that
video.
song, that piece of video clip.
Oh, yeah, because that's Warner.
It's Warner Brothers.
Shit.
It's fucked up, isn't it?
So I wonder if Prince had people close to him and they would sue based on some contract if they could, but they probably can't.
And also, because it's in Minneapolis and people cheered during it, I don't know, like, would they just go, oh, well, it's done now, what can we do?
But they didn't do a hologram, and a hologram still hasn't happened to my knowledge.
What's the difference between a hologram and a projection onto a white sheet? Like, a hologram is just a projection.
Yeah, but was it the whole video that was projected? Is it just Prince, or is it the background as well?
It's just Prince.
Have they CGI'd round Prince? They've
I don't
round to get rid of the background to isolate.
Not brilliantly, no.
No, but they tried.
Well, I mean,
to make it more real, like
there's nothing else on the white sheet but Prince.
Well, okay,
and some purple lighting that would have been in the film.
Okay, so they doctored it.
I guess anything is doctoring if you've cut the rest out of the frame.
Yeah,
it's not just them showing the film.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at. Yeah,
so that's the same as a hologram, right? I mean,
yeah, pretty much.
In essence,
I mean, same as the Sinatra one.
Yeah,
yeah.
There was a reaction from Vanity. No, not Vanity, because she was dead.
Yeah.
No, Sheila E. When she heard about it might be a hologram, she was like, he does not want this. He told me that this is something he doesn't ever want. I didn't read any more reaction about it afterwards, like, as in, you know, what I've been saying is, what is the difference? Maybe they just saw it as a big difference. It's like, well, it's not actually him hovering on stage looking alien, and but it is manipulated.
Yeah, but obviously, like, how it's done as well, you know. To make something where it looks like this slight alien kind of presence, almost like it's back from the grave, but it's got this uncomfortable kind of uncanny quality.
Yeah.
That's
the step that people can't take.
Yeah, because then it's like fucking a zombie on stage, and people are celebrating it like it's cool.
They're celebrating the hijinks.
Yeah, they're celebrating the hijinks, but if you're looking at it as just a sort of in an emotional way, you think it's fucking weird.
It's funny, those lines are like so...
They are.
So close.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. Because it wouldn't be... That wouldn't be the big story. If the big story is about the hologram, then that becomes dismissive of his legacy in some way, because the technology has taken over too much.
Yeah, and it's reanimating him without his permission.
But it's still him being represented without his permission. So it's fucking really like...
Yeah, it's really on the line.
Yeah.
It's definitely on the line. In a way, though, it's any different from a really good Prince impersonator with a really good band that were very good at impersonating the band, playing live and make you feel like, it's just like Prince. Amazing. Like,
if it's not the actual person, then you've got that kind of thing to fall back on and say, well, it's not actually...
It's not him, but they're very good at it. They're talented.
And it'll be celebrated. I got taken away. I thought I was watching Prince. And everyone would be like, yeah, it's amazing what he can do.
Yeah.
But, like, that wouldn't be taken as disregard for his life.
It's the technology which is the disregard. It's the...
Yeah, it is, yeah.
It's the brutality of the technology, and the use of it, because it's nearly always used for Brian's purposes of making a big fucking show and showing off the technology. The technology's on show.
The technology is the demon. It's the demon that Prince is talking about.
Yeah, and it's the thing that people are celebrating rather than the person. And they're using this person as a conduit. They're promoting something else, not Prince.
Yeah, the value is more put onto the experience of the technology.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, ABBA have chosen to make avatars of themselves.
Well, they're still alive now. So it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
It's when people die, it's like, that's when it becomes a big deal. Because they have no control now, they have no say.
Yeah, but even they are alive, and like, is there still something a bit weird about that?
I guess it would come down to the personal reaction of the person that's being presented in a different way.
Well, they had complete control over making it how they would like to be represented.
Yeah, that's true.
But I still don't like it. The performance.
We should say that before the duet, Madonna starts the tribute performing on her own, doing Nothing Compares to You.
At the top of some stairs. Gothic imagery behind her.
Yeah.
With the word death on the gravestone.
But before that, she's just a reversed throne. You don't know who's on the throne. She's got her hand on a cane. Prince often had a cane.
Yep.
She has a cross in her hand. Prince obviously uses the cross in lots of imagery. Like, his love symbol has the cross in it. And she has the lace. And she has the paisley printed dress coat. Purple lighting everywhere.
Yeah.
If you look at all these tributes, they all go back to this purple phase of Prince. obviously the film's called Purple Rain, the song's called Purple Rain. What he wears on that performance of Purple Rain is a purple suit.
Yeah.
So he's always been connected with this purple colour.
Yeah.
And he gets a kind of a nickname as the Purple One.
Yeah.
There's no other artist that has this connection to a colour.
No.
And it makes fucking perfect sense for pop music that you would relate yourself to a bright colour.
Yeah.
It's fucking genius.
It's so easy.
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah. Until Purple Rain, he hadn't been really Mr. Purple. He had this vision of the two colours at sunset, you know, of creating purple and it being apocalyptic, and it was just part of it as an artistic motif.
If you think about films that were made during that era in the 80s, there is a lot of wet streets reflecting purple neon. It may be red neon, it may be blue neon, but red and blue neon with the nighttime, it all kind of fudges into this purple.
And also the Dario Argento art horror.
Yeah.
Recreations of film noir with colour.
Yeah.
Essentially, and more violence.
It's this midway between the blood red and the blue sky. The liberation and beauty of the blue sky and the
dark,
passionate red.
Yeah, the red of passion.
He's thinking so much further than anyone else.
It's true.
Painting himself in this regal colour that's also represents the matching of the two opposites, you know.
Yeah.
It's fucking...
It's brilliant. Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah.
So yeah, she does a version of Nothing Compares to You, which we started the episode with.
Yeah. Sort of another repetition.
Another fucking circle going on.
It's pretty fucking bad. She has nothing on Sinead or Rosie Gaines or Prince.
Well, she does the Sinead version for a start.
She does the Sinead version, yeah.
Which makes me wonder, is she going to be brought back to do the exact same performance this year? Does Sinead O'Connor get the tribute treatment?
Yeah, that interesting. And
because Madonna could do the same fucking performance.
Yeah, she could. Sinead should get a fucking tribute, definitely. Yeah.
But Prince didn't get a tribute in that sense. He got a tribute in his song, but he didn't get a tribute in his performance because it was done in the Sinead version, which is very different to the Rosie Gaines.
True. Although there is...
They could have had Stevie Wonder doing the Prince. They could have had her doing the Rosie Gaines.
They could have. It's half Prince's version, half Sinead's, because there's not the rich harmony that there is in the Sinead version.
But that's also because of the somber moment.
Yeah.
When you have to do a tribute a month after someone dies.
But you can't have too much
It's got to be broken down. It's got to be broken down to...
minimal.
Yeah, it's got to be minimal. It can't be this massive...
And also it's got to build up to the Purple Rain as well, afterwards. I think Madonna trashes Nothing Compares to You, really.
It's basic.
It's real basic. She's much better on record from the live performances I've seen. Because in production, they cut off all her being a person. They trim the edges so she becomes a melody. And she's great when she's a high melody. Like anything in the upper regions, she's perfect. And she's very much in control of that in the beginning of her career. Material Girl and like True Blue and all those albums. Her voice is just a wonderful synth melody over the top. But we're never invited to hear the guttural power or the inflections of Madonna because they're not there. They're not good. And when we do hear them, we're put off. Like, never meant to cause you any pain. Plosives are like banging the mic. She's trying to sort of talk it out, like talk out these lyrics, and that's not her strong point.
Yeah, I think because of the situation, she's trying to make a point with certain words.
Shouldn't be doing that. Because that's when she becomes the point maker. There's no one telling her to redo it. She's so good when she's smooth. In the 80s, she's a fucking pop goddess, and I fucking love pretty much all of Madonna in the 80s. But then when she starts popping out words and pronouncing things, and not for me.
Later this year, she got the Billboard Woman of the Year, and she basically does a feminist speech.
Yeah, and she actually says, I was raped at knife point on a rooftop.
In New York, yeah.
As well as everything else. Complete. I went through so much shit as a woman.
Yeah.
Terrible shit.
She took the exposure that she had for this award to tell it as she saw it, how she was exploited as a woman in this business. She said that after the release of Erotica and the sex book in the early 90s, everything I read about myself was damning. I was called a whore, a witch. One headline compared me to Satan. I said, wait a minute, isn't Prince running around in fishnets and high heels with his butt hanging out?
Yeah.
Yes, he was. But he was a man. This was the first time I truly understood that women do not have the same freedom as men. And then she pauses, she starts to well up. The whole speech is very emotional. She's got tears in her eyes the whole speech.
Yeah.
After she sees all this stuff in the press, in 1994, she's got a song called Human Nature. She's got lyrics, did I say something wrong? Oops, I didn't know I couldn't talk about sex. Oh, I didn't know I couldn't speak my mind. So she's kind of reacting. This is what we were talking about earlier about like how Jackson and Madonna confront what comes at them.
Yeah.
Like, and they kind of play the game that the press want them to do. But they're also opening up conversation for everyone. Say, well, is it right the way they're being treated?
Yeah, but also in that speech, Madonna talks about the biggest crime that she committed was aging, a woman aging, and how that is never looked on kindly at all. And yeah, it's so true because, like, part of what I was going to say like, before I listened to the speech, married Guy Ritchie in 2000, she went all UK, drinking a pint in the
parochial
pub and be parochial and flat cap or some jodhpurs and be all, like, farmy and stuff. And that's like, oh, God, she's got all mumsy. It's really, oh, fucking hell. Like, don't like that.
Yeah.
Like a mum on a hen do in Brighton with like these fucking cowboy hats.
Pink cowboy hat.
Pink cowboy hat,
that
which
we've
is like
talked about
now
before.
Massive. I don't know if Madonna did that first. I don't think so. I think she's almost like adopting British Chardonnay drinking mums in Brighton getting fucked up wearing cowboy hat culture. It's like, you could have picked a different culture to appropriate, actually.
Well, she's done them all.
She's done them all, yeah. But there's something about the hen night mumness of it all, which is kind of unsavoury.
Yeah, but that's the aging thing as well.
Exactly, yeah. So she's
you're
answering me,
like
with her speech.
Yeah,
I'm just
yeah.
like, oh, I feel a bit guilty about thinking that. Yeah, you're not allowed to grow old. But then again, pop's about projecting something new. And when you're a mum, you're less likely to be all new and modern.
Yeah, because you relate to people that are just like you, that are other mums having the same struggles. You're actually becoming part of a community, whereas when you're a young pop star, you're forcing a new
community to occur.
Yeah, whereas when you get older, you fall back into your culture and your community that you can survive in.
But unfortunately, she's still a pop star, so she's still pushing this stuff into the pop world. It's like, do we want that? No, we want something new. We want the praise and disregard for like the future
and family values. I mean, pop is not about family values, is it?
It's not. I mean, she's obviously very pissed off all the time. The tabloids still attacking her, probably.
No, but she could still see that there was a difference. She could still see that these men could get away with any kind of shape-shifting, whereas she was criticised.
But then again, I think if the men were more political, they'd be less likely to get away with it.
Yeah, Prince was more spiritual. She engages with the contemporary situation.
She's on a crusade.
Yeah.
And that's totally intertwined with her whole career, so she leaves herself open. It's just something about that angry woman that raises people's heckles. Prince doesn't come out and say, oh, it was really bad the way he treated me when I changed my name.
No, because
he doesn't care.
Because he'll always go back to saying people will have their judgment day and whatever.
Yeah, he lives in this judgment day all the time. In the Purple Rain. It's where he lives.
We should talk about the performance because we've really got off track. It's quite good because they've picked two gospel songs.
Yeah.
Or they've done Purple Rain in a gospel way.
They do play the actual Prince intro before this comes in, which is the best bit of Purple Rain.
Everybody's gotta get it.
Yeah. Everybody got it.
It's this thing called life.
Life, yeah.
Yeah. The intro to the Purple Rain album.
Yes, and I love that.
This thing called life, he's talking about materialism.
Yeah.
He's talking about the material world and how it is less important than the next level.
Yeah.
Where we're all trying to get to.
And it's so good, and then like the organ stops and it comes in again.
Yeah. It's a sermon. It's a sermon.
Yeah, but it sounds modern and cool and synthy and like way beyond sort of gospel. And then I think what the problem with this version is that then it just settles down into gospel-y shit.
Organ and piano, basically.
Piano, and the song is actually musically very boring. Purple Rain.
Yeah.
It's very boring. And they go for the boring. And then Stevie comes out and it's like...
She has to go and grab his hand, bring him on.
Yeah, and she's like very motherly.
Very motherly, yeah.
And you wonder whether she's doing that as a sort of show of like motherliness or whether she's actually...
No, I think she's just fucking working the situation. She has to go and grab him because, like, you know, his voice comes from nowhere, as in you can't see him yet.
Yeah.
So this is a nice reveal for the crowd.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, fucking hell, it's Stevie.
Yeah.
And like, who doesn't love Stevie?
Yeah.
So Stevie turns up, does some glissando, does some vibrato.
Yeah.
And they turn this song into a convivial gospel sing-along. There's even a point where they cut all the instrumentation out and they say, clap hands.
Yeah.
And everyone gets their purple light on their wrist.
Wristband. Yeah, come on, join us in celebration of Prince.
Yeah. It's not really a duet.
No.
You have to have two people to make a sing-along. So they start the sing-along and then it becomes a bigger
Well, you don't need
bigger
two
sing-along.
to start singing along. One can start the sing-along with everyone else.
Yeah, but he starts to sing along with her before the crowd start to sing along.
Yeah, obviously it's a nice...
As a fucking fluffer for the sing-along.
Yeah. He's a good sing-along fluffer.
He's a great sing-along fluffer.
He's a great fluffer. I like the way that Stevie says, "Don't you know I love you forevermore, baby?" And like little ad lib in the middle of it. That's cool. Like he loves Prince forevermore.
He does.
He does.
Did you know that he was asked to do a tribute song on the day that Prince died?
It's insane. Like what?
He was on CNN, filmed in his house, live satellite link-up. And
Shit.
he's visibly welling up.
Yeah.
Because Stevie wells up at the fucking drop of a hat. Like, but like, he's agreed to do an interview on the same day that Prince has died.
Yeah.
And
Probably just thinks he's gonna say, "Oh, a few platitudes." Yeah.
but no, that's not all they're after.
No.
Stevie starts with, "It's unbelievable, I can't believe it's happened." But then he becomes like Stevie spokesman, because Stevie always goes into spokesman mode. He starts to talk about God, spirituality.
Yeah.
He says it's a heartbreak to lose a member of the army of love. And the Almighty has far greater things for him to do.
Okay. Fair enough.
And then Anderson Cooper starts to dig a bit.
Well,
like
better than like writing Purple Rain. I can't think of many better things.
Yeah, but you don't know what's
Prince
up in the next level.
True.
You don't know what kind of power that he's going to have when he gets to the next level.
I don't, yeah.
Stevie
does.
kind of understands this a little bit. Yeah, he has an idea. So Anderson Cooper starts to dig a bit like, I think you buy a piano. Is there anything that comes to your heart, comes to your head in terms of, you know, music when you think of him? So he's like using Stevie's language.
Yeah.
Stevie kind of goes, "Oh, you know, when I think of him, you know, I love Purple Rain. In particular, Nicky's crying." I think he means Darling Nicky. And then he starts to veer off into like spiritual talk. But then Anderson Cooper comes back and says like, "I don't want to put you on the spot, but is there anything you want to play of his?"
Yeah.
"I don't want to put you on the spot." "But I do want to put you on this giant spot." Yeah. And like the split screen of their two faces becomes just Stevie's face, and he's like downturned mouth, and he's welling up, and Stevie's like, "Yeah, I think I would possibly break down."
God. Oh.
Fuck, man.
Assholes. They have no idea, these tabloid fuckers.
It's so shitty, isn't it?
But they don't ask David Beckham, I know you just lost 4-0 to Real Madrid, but it just turns out Pelé died today. Would you go back onto the pitch and just do a bicycle kick maybe and score? Just for us?
Yeah.
Like, no one's going to do that, are they?
No. They're performing monkeys, aren't they? Musicians.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're saying goodbye to Stevie.
Yeah. Bye, Stevie.
He's going to be back, though, because he is a
key star.
A key star.
Yeah.
That's really good. Key star. We'll be going through his
guitar.
lock to, you know...
A guitar.
Key star of a guitar. And we will find Stevie again, surely.
But we continue with Madonna.
Yeah, we continue with Madonna.
And of course,
and we're gonna.
She meets Prince, and they do a song called
Love Song.
Love Song.
Yeah.
Okay.
Terrible name for a song. Love Song.
Name for a song.
It gives you a clue of like how much effort they put into this.
Yeah, although there's some great songs called Love Song.
Is there?
Well, by The Cure. Love Song by The Cure.
Don't know
Classic.
it. Don't know it.
Anyway, you know it, but
Sing
you
it.
might not know. I feel a bit put on the spot here. However far away, I will always love you. George Michael affected me.
Oh, George Michael did?
Yeah, that was fucking sad. That was
Yeah?
sadder than Jackson.
However far away.
Yeah, I mean, I've got one more figure to Bowie.
Whatever words they say,
Again,
I will always love you.
that was sad.